Many young professionals these days turn to smoking, alcohol, or sometimes overworking. So, how can we break the cycle of this addiction?
Addictive behavior are the cause of stress and anxiety being integrated from within. Right diet, right exercise, right relaxation and sleep.
Many deeper personal problems which only individual knows. Really want to know how to get access to you and solve our confidential problems.
They need individual attention. Every day 2 hours I have assigned for individual sessions. I will be available to guide him in every manner.
Welcome again, Guruji. We are so blessed to have you here again with us. So, in this topic, we will cover pressure, peer culture, and personal boundaries like overcoming burnout, addictions, and societal norms.
Yeah.
So, my first question is we often feel guilty saying no to people,
Yeah.
like even when we are drowning. So, how to set boundaries without fear?
Okay, saying no is the most challenging dimension of our normal behavior. It's very difficult for people to say no, even if it is in any way not at all possible to say yes. But why is it so? It is so just because we lack courage and clarity about ourselves. Once you have clarity, inner clarity about your personal status, your needs, your requirements, you will be able to clearly demarcate as to whether you have to say yes or no. Once you have got that inner clarity, you will find it easy. You will feel easily courageous enough to say no to the person concerned. You see, saying no happens to be a part of your intrinsic honesty and it strengthens you from within. No doubt, for saying no, you have to establish yourself in such a way that the other person, the employer, or colleagues, or whosoever they may not feel as if you are trying to say something against their expectations. Once you make them expect not more than what should be expected of you, and that is possible. That is possible because of the sincerity of your life and living. It is possible because of the truth that you live from moment to moment. You see, there is the most mysterious truth about life. The whole world behaves with you just the way you allow it to behave, just the way you allow them to be. There are people who live in such a way that you find it very difficult to go beyond boundaries while interacting with them. And there are people who are living so loosely that people go beyond boundaries while interacting with them. So make your position crystal clear. What you wanted to know is how to say no. And this is possible only when you are integrated within yourself. A life of integrity will make it definite that whatever you want to speak, you will become capable of speaking and people will become capable of accepting. If you say no, people will not take it otherwise. They will become capable of accepting it with the same spirit as if they had been able to say no if they had been in the same circumstances.
Yes, Gurudev. But Gurudev, sometimes toxic workplaces look like where just people are just working hard.
Yeah.
How to tell the difference? What should the leadership fix about it?
In fact, the nature of the corporate officer should not be determined on the consideration of their busyness only.
Hmm.
It is the sincerity with which they live and interact with their fellow colleagues. It is the loving communication that goes on between them and between the employer and the employee. And thirdly, it is also the love and respect which prevails there among themselves. If these considerations and qualities are lacking, then that workplace has become toxic. That is the main criteria that differentiates a right workplace and a toxic workplace.
Yes, Guruji. But many young professionals these days turn to smoking, alcohol, or sometimes overworking. So, how can we break the cycle of this addiction?
You see, Solini, in fact, this addictive behavior or the cause of stress and anxiety is not a byproduct of the strenuous work or job you are carrying out in your life. In fact, studies show that it is largely because you are not at peace with yourself. Simply because your body, your mind, your emotions, and your soul, they are not acting in alignment with each other. So, being integrated from within at the physical, mental, emotional, and soul level is the fundamental requirement so that any anxiety or stress is not arising in your life. Now, the question arises, what is the remedy to ensure that such a situation does not arise and you are integrated from within? The most obvious suggestion I would like to offer is that our yogic sciences have been emphasizing since times immemorial that three things are most important for your divine life and living. These three things are: number one is right diet, number two is right exercise, and number three is right relaxation and sleep. You manage all these three things together. You are taking the right food every day. You are exercising at least 1 hour every day. And you are in a state of relaxation and enjoying sound sleep 7-8 hours every day. You will find that a miracle has started happening in your life. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your soul, they will start acting in tune with each other. And when they are acting in tune with each other, you will never feel tired, you will never feel exhausted, you will be able to cope up with the challenges of your office work without the slightest difficulty. And then you will not feel the need of any addictive affair like drinks or drugs or anything of the sort. What I would like to suggest that this is the first and fundamental requirement which everybody must take care of. And if despite that some problem happens, it means you need something more to do. And for that, I would suggest that meditation and conscious living are the two most powerful antidotes to addictions like drugs and drinks. So everybody must practice meditation at least half an hour every day. Everybody must practice conscious living from moment to moment. And the third thing which I would suggest, the more and more joyful you are in your life and living, the more and more away from drugs and drinks you will happen to be on your own. You see, drugs and drinks or any intoxicants are the natural outcome of man's search for spirituality. In fact, if you need these intoxicants, it simply shows that you need some joy. And that joy can be experienced not by any outside substances, that can be experienced only by turning inward. You can take the yogic lesson of turning inward through meditation. If you can take that lesson of turning inward through conscious living, you will never feel the need of taking recourse to drugs and drinks anymore in life. Finally, I would like to suggest that even despite all these things, you happen to become a victim of drugs and drinks or any other intoxicants, you must take some professional help, and medical help can also prove essential and beneficial for you in such situations.
Gurudev, I have one very obvious question and a very big problem for women. Like, we women are expected to look after kids and home and even in laws when we return from our office. Why does this problem still exist? Why do mother in laws forget that they were once daughter in laws?
Quite good, Salni. A very, very interesting question, because very many young girls come to me and they are suffering from this severe problem.
Ji.
In fact, they have been put into a dual role. They are expected to be good, rather to be at the best in their work at office. At the same time, they are also expected to become excellent in their household responsibilities also. So a young girl is doing all the office work and meeting all the challenges of the office. At the same time, when she comes back home, she has to take care of the kids, she has to take care of the aging parents, and she has to take care of all the household affairs. It is largely because even today, though the circumstances have changed to a large extent, the mothers are considered to be the primary caregivers, and at the same time, another role of meeting the challenges of the office work have also been thrusted upon them. Now the question arises, why has it happened so? No doubt it is a troublesome situation and very difficult for mothers to manage it. But this has grown simply because we have not been able to change the traditional, the old societal norms. In the previous times, the mothers were living within households. They had no other responsibility except to carry on the household affairs. They had to play the role of the caregiver and the homemaker. This role of women has changed to a large extent. Now they are not only the caregivers and homemakers, they have extended and expanded their role to the role which men have been playing since times immemorial in society, the role of managing the office affairs. So the new role has been added. The old roles have also been continuing simultaneously. Now the need arises that their role has got to be changed. The psychology of the family, the psychology of the members of the house must also change. And the roles must be defined, the attitudes must be redefined. And the time is coming that it will automatically emerge the changes will automatically come up. The new times are making such new developments that the old values which need to be changed will change in due course of time. We must learn to live and act with a little patience. We should try to compromise and then to make the older generation of our family accept the new emerging trend. The second part of your question is about the mothers-in-law behaving with the daughters-in-law entirely in non-desirable manner.
Yes.
This is also very significant. In fact, mother-in-law feels as if she is losing the love and relationship with his son. The mother-in-laws become fearful. Because of this possessiveness, they start nursing emotions of jealousy and rivalry with the daughters-in-law. No doubt they forget that they had also been daughters-in-law. Why do they forget? They forget simply because their mothers-in-law had been having some attitude. They must be having some specific behavior with them. So the attitude and behavior which they experienced with their own mothers-in-law, that dominates in their mind, and they try to behave and have the similar attitude towards their daughters-in-law.
Yes.
This also needs to be changed, and a total transformation has got to be brought about. One thing, this will come automatically in due course of time. Secondly, I would like to suggest that our ancient Indian system had devised a beautiful arrangement that whenever the parents came to the age of retirement, they started handing over the charge of the house in the hands of the son and daughter-in-law. And that is the same thing which I would like to happen. Once parents reach the age of retirement, they should become more interested in their own inner growth towards enlightenment, and they should hand over the responsibility of the house in the hands of the son and the daughters-in-law, so that this problem itself start disappearing. In those times when this arrangement, this system was in vogue, no such problems arose. These problems started rising after such a beautiful system started disappearing. But now the revival of the same system should happen, and I am trying to work out the similar solution through Science Divine Movement.
Perfectly said, Gurudev, but I'm sure there are many personal problems, many deeper personal problems which only individual knows. So we in corporate world do not know whom to trust. So and also we do not have access to right people. So I really want to know how to get access to you and solve our confidential problems.
Quite true, Salini. I can understand that there are young couples and very many people whose problems cannot be put in stereotype jackets.
Yes.
They need individual solutions. They need individual attention, and they need individual guidance also. And just for the same, I have made an arrangement that every individual who feels the need of my presence and who feels the need of getting some real guidance on the real issues of life, and also those who are interested in their inner growth towards spiritual enlightenment, I have been very serious about joyfully associating with them. I have been trying to find and spare time for them, and for that I have designed some half an hour system of attending to them every day. Every day 2 hours I have assigned for individual sessions with people. If anybody is interested, one can approach with the system, and I will be available to guide him in every manner.
Thank you so much, Gurudev, for clearing our doubts, and we will soon have you again with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Salini.